Okey. Kita datang hari ini untuk tujuan untuk memberikan keterangan yang bersangkut dengan laporan polis yang dibuat oleh Datuk Shamsubahrin di Klang semasa beliau masih di bawah riman. Di dalam report polis itu, beliau menyatakan bahawa ada keterangan SMS yang menunjukkan ada seorang tokoh penting dalam NFC, a key figure in NFC, telah cuba untuk memberi rasuah kepada pihak polis untuk menutup kes NFC. Hari ini, Datuk Shamsubahrin setelah keluar daripada riman hadir untuk memberi kepada MACC keterangan yang menyokong kenyataan yang dibuat oleh beliau dalam laporan polis tersebut, iaitu ada bukti bribery through SMS's proof of attempts to bribe the police. Now, kenyataan selepas penyerahan dibuat, kenyataan direkodkan oleh penolong penguasa Kumarasamy Ganesan dan recording mengambil masa 1 jam. Recording juga dibuat menggunakan sistem video recording di bawah dan Datuk Shamsubahrin juga telah menyerahkan telefon bimbit dan transkrip SMS kepada penolong penguasa Nurul Izwan Komel juga sebentar tadi. Now, saya ingin juga menambah secara ringkas bahawa keterangan yang telah diberikan jelas menunjukkan ada percubaan untuk memberi rasuah kepada pihak polis. Dan telefon bimbit tersebut sebelum ini pun ada dalam tangan MACC. Okay? Maknanya they already had the evidence. So the question that we're asking is, why wasn't action taken earlier? Why, instead of taking action, was the whistleblower, Datuk Shamsubahrin, charged with not 1 but 3 charges? Okay, these are the questions that we want answered. It goes to show that there is continuous abuse of prosecution and enforcement powers in this country. The whistleblower is penalized and the real culprits walk free. Now, one more point that I want to raise before I hand over to Datuk Shamsubahrin to make his brief statement is that we are also very disappointed by the attitude of the MACC. MACC tried to prevent the lawyers being present with Datuk Shamsubahrin when he gave the statement. There was a standoff lasting almost 45 minutes in which they insisted that the lawyers cannot sit with him. Now, this shows the high-handed method by which the MACC and enforcement authorities in our country work. They had no respect for Datuk Shamsubahrin's right to have his lawyer present. They had no respect for the law. So we're very disappointed with the attitude shown by MACC today.
The reason I come to SPRM today is just to hand over the evidence of what transpired between me and Datuk Sri Saleh, and the evidence will show that I have not cheated Datuk Sri Saleh. So now I will leave it to SPRM to do a fair, good investigation. Other than that, I think you can wait for the investigation.
Okay, thank you.
Datuk, does that mean that the money was actually passed to the police?
I think you wait for the investigation.
Let them investigate.
You let the SPRM make investigation. Supaya I tak nak nanti cakap sini nanti investigation lain semua. I don't want. Let SPRM make the investigation.
But you are saying here today that you are innocent.
I'm innocent. If not, I don't reveal all the evidence.
So the evidence will show that you're innocent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
By doing this PC, it's not sub judice of the ongoing trial.
No, not at all. Which trial is that?
The ongoing trial.
No.
The court case.
No.
The court case? Oh, you mean his court case? No. That's why I think the issue of sub judice is much misunderstood. There's no issue of sub judice. We are not talking about the court case, and anyway it doesn't apply in this country, the sub judice rule. We are just here to inform the people that the evidence has been given, that we want action.
Yeah.
We want the authorities to take action because we are giving the solid evidence, and he has every right to say that he's innocent.
Yeah.
Okay, and we share that
Yeah.
opinion. So that's what it's all about. I think the public has a right to know. When the authorities don't investigate, I think the public have a right to know.
Yeah.
So far, the authorities have investigated all the wrong people, have taken their own sweet time about taking action against all the real culprits in the NFC case. Why has it taken so long? Nobody has been charged except for the innocent Dato' Shamsubahrin, who was not even involved in the NFC case, except he came in as a consultant much later. So that's the thing.
I just want to make it clear. I am not the media consultant for NFC. I am the corporate advisor and consultant. That's it.
Okay,
That's it.
all right.
Huh?
Thank you.
Any other?
Thank you.
Stranger, can you reveal what SMSs?
We are barred under the Section 29 of the MACC Act. What we can say is basically that it supports what Shamsubahrin said in his earlier report, that he has evidence through SMSs of attempted bribery of the police by key figure in NFC. And that evidence he has handed over. I can't go further into the details because the MACC Act bars me from going into details.
Okay. Then can you tell some of us here who didn't attend that PC what the police report actually said? He said that
Okay, his police
chairman
report
had-
when he was in remand in Klang GH, when was that? I can't recall the date. That police report in Klang said that there were attempts by a key figure in NFC to ask him, or rather to bribe the police in order to cover up the case, running into millions. Okay,
it's
to
the
cover
chairman,
up the
right?
NFC case.
The police report actually named the chairman, right?
I can't recall. Yeah, I think the police report has named
Okay.
named the party involved. I mean that's the essence of the police report. Okay, but at that point of time, it was what Shamsubahrin was saying. Now Shamsubahrin has come up with a solid, concrete evidence, which you saw this morning, the phone and the transcripts, and the concrete evidence has been given to the authorities. So there's no more reason why the authorities cannot move and take action immediately. And we hope that there will be a swift investigation in this matter,
Sure.
not foot dragging like they've done all this while.
Did they say anything why they required the phone again as evidence?
No, it's very strange actually, because the phone was with them in the first place.
Yes.
That means they were fully aware of the contents. Despite that, there was no investigation into the attempted bribery.
Did they record anything?
After we had publicized it, when we made the report in Klang, only then they slowly started feeling that there was pressure to investigate. They slowly started. But again, remember, they had the phone, they had the evidence. Why was no investigation done? Why do we have to come back and give it to them and push them to investigate? Something is wrong with the enforcement.
There's two phones here, right?
One phone.
One phone.
Yeah, there's one phone.
Can you tell us which possible section that the MACC would did the IO say which possible section?
Investigate.
Yeah, this
Investigate
offence. Yeah,
No, they didn't go into those details.
for yourself.
But I can't recall offhand. But it should be the offence of. It's an attempt to give gratification.
Okay.
You
So
know,
an attempt.
although I can't recall offhand which is the section. Yeah.
Okay.
It should be an attempt.
Okay.
You see, any crime which you attempt, an attempt to commit a crime is a crime itself. You know, so it should be under an attempt. Yes.
Okay.
Just want to clarify, today you come on your own initiative, isn't it? The MACC doesn't ask you to come to
MACC call, is it?
MACC
No,
call,
no,
right?
no, no. The MACC has been in touch with Shamsubahrin, and they said they wanted to investigate the matter. What we are surprised is why it takes them so long, you know. But
today
arrangements were made with them
Okay.
to come. Yes, arrangements were made with them. That's why we're very surprised by their attitude when we came here.
So altogether 4 lawyers, including yourself.
That's right. Altogether 4 lawyers. All right. Okay. That all.
You're not allowed to accompany Dato' Shamsu, right?
Okay,
You're just-
finally what happened is that in order to enable the phone to be handed over and to get the thing over, and on their assurance that the statement will only be regarding the handing over of the phone, we were allowed to stand nearby while the statement was recorded, but not exactly in the room. I view it very seriously, and I will be taking it up with the Bar Council, because it's quite clear that the MACC breached the law and the constitution and tried to prevent, in fact they did prevent Shamsubahrin from getting access to the lawyer, to his lawyers. This shows the MACC is still a lawless body. This is a body that has got no respect for the laws of our country. Every witness, every accused person has a right to legal representation. But this body, MACC, has got no respect for that. So we will be taking this up as a public issue. I will be informing the Bar Council, and we want this to be, because let us remember, if Teo Beng Hock had been allowed to bring in his lawyer, he would be alive today. And I think the MACC still has not learned its lesson. They are still doing the same idiotic thing that they did last time, which is to try and prevent the lawyers. In other words, they simply cannot reform on their own. They must be reformed. And this is something that Pakatan Rakyat will look into immediately when we take power. We will reform this institution and make sure that they follow the laws of our country.
Just want to clarify, during the statement was taken, the lawyers are inside the room.
No, we were not allowed to be
Like
inside the room.
from outside.
We were only allowed to be outside. That also after we had insisted, we were allowed to have visual view of Shamsubahrin, but we were not allowed near. That's wrong. We only finally agreed in order to ensure that the evidence is handed over at this stage. But in future, we are certain if there's going to be further questioning, he must have lawyers present to advise him. You know, that's how the law in this country works.
So you don't know what's the question asked and what was...
No, we don't know because we were not.
Okay.
But I can. It was on the handing over of the phone. You know, they've got to
Some
record.
record of statements.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I do not know because they did not allow us to.
That was the condition, out of earshot lah.
Yes, that's right. Out
Okay.
of earshot. That's right.
Right,
yeah.
thanks.
But because it was only about the handing over the phone, at this point of time we said fine. But if it's going to be a full statement, we will not agree to these terms.